You know, you can't always go with the trailers. You can't always go with promise because of a director. Because Ava DuVernay is a great director. Hands down. Selma is a great movie that she did. And that documentary that she did, 13th or something like that, that was really good too. It's like on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. But she's a great director. I was very excited because of this movie because she's doing it. The trailers looked really interesting. Yes, it's a hard concept to do because the Wrinkle in Time book is probably one of the hardest things to ever bring to life. So I was excited. I trusted her. But man, you always can't trust the mouse, can you? A Wrinkle in Time. This movie was directed by David DuVernay, who directed Selma, and the documentary movie, like I said in the beginning, was like 13th. I'm pretty sure, I forget the name. Either way, this is a movie I was looking forward to, no doubt about it. I saw the trailers were interesting, the advertisement looked weird, but I was intrigued. It was Disney, had Reese Witherspoon, Oprah Winfrey, and I was just looking forward to this movie. And so the basic storyline is this little girl named Meg. She's an outcast. She gets made fun of really bad too because her father is gone. He's been gone for 4 years. And all of a sudden these 3 women, these misses, come down from this this time, this transformation, like these weird zone. They come to her house and say, hey, we can get your father back. So her boyfriend slash friend, her little brother Charles Wallace, go on this adventure to find Chris Pine, her dad. And we go through some weird characters and some weird events. So, what did I think about this movie? I'll start with the positives. First things first, the main girl who plays Meg was really good. Like, I mean, she is great. I think she has a future. She does a great job in this movie, especially with some emotional scenes. There is one scene in particular. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's between her and another character. Chris Pine is great in this movie when he's in it. He's in it for a very, very short time period, but when he's in it, he steals every scene he's in. He's really good in this movie. The wife, the mom in this movie, she's in it very little. She's great in this movie too. Again, these little characters are some of the best actors in this movie. Then we get to some of the other acting that I didn't truly love, but we'll get to that soon. We'll start with the positives. But yeah, I thought the main girl was great. The CGI for like 60% of it, I'll say 60%, looked really good. Like, I mean really good. There were some beautiful moments. CGI looked great in some moments. We'll talk about some negatives in a little bit. And then Ava DuVernay's direction was really good, and I thought she did great with some of the character moments that were really special and important to the story. I thought she did a really good job with the directing, and the lighting and cinematography was good. So now let's talk about some of the negatives. First things first, I'm starting this off right off the bat. The character Charles Wallace. First things first, they could never call him Charles. He's the little brother to the main girl, Meg. Charles. I'm going to call him Charles. But in this movie, they call him Charles Wallace the entire time. That's just me being bothered. Why do they call him Charles Wallace when they can't just say Charles? Charles. Nope, it's Charles Wallace. But either way, this kid, I'm sorry, I hate to hate on him. I know he's a little kid and all. He was awful. I mean garbage. Like, I mean they did a really bad job casting that part. He was not right for that role at all. I mean, what was that? And he's a major part in the third act. I mean, he was awful. He ruined a lot of this movie for me. His acting was just garbage. Like, I mean, just garbage acting right there. The boyfriend-friend character, Calvin, he had no purpose to be here. He literally shows up out of nowhere in the middle of the beginning of the movie. He just shows up out of nowhere. No setup, no nothing. He literally shows up and joins them on this adventure and is fine with it. Completely fine with it. He's like, I should have been here in this moment. Something told me I need to be here right now. So I showed up. It was, what? Like, why? Like, he had nothing special about him at all. If he did, I didn't notice because he was not special or important to anything in this movie, and he just shows up. The missus. I thought Oprah was just getting a paycheck. She did nothing with this character. She said some inspiring stuff, but she didn't feel like she wanted to be there. She felt really fake. And that's sad because it's Oprah. And I don't know. Mindy Kaza, whatever, the girl from Mindy Project, all she is a Wikipedia of this entire movie. She says, like, quotes the entire movie and then says the person's name after she says the quote. And then she starts getting some dialogue, but she gets nothing to do in this movie except for running around with her big dress. Reese Witherspoon, I liked. I thought she did a fine job, but in the very beginning, when she first enters, the first time you see her, it's like very just in your face and like no setup. She just shows up out of nowhere. I really think you have to read the book and get so much more details to find out what really happened, because these characters just show up out of nowhere. And Charles Wallace is some genius kid who's like, "Oh, hi, Mrs. I've been talking to you forever." We got one scene with him saying something to some invisible thing, and all of a sudden the next scene, Reese Witherspoon shows up. I'm like, we had no setup, no nothing. And as I said, the CGI looked good, but then there are some scenes it looked awful. Like, I mean, you're like, how did this get released? How did Disney, the biggest studio ever, say, that is it, that is our scene, there we go, let's release it? I don't know how it happened, but it did, and some of the CGI is literally awful. And again, there are some weird scenes in this movie that are just really just intriguing. Like, it's just like, I feel like this movie, there was a bunch of scenes, and they just mushed them together, and it had no, like, tone, no set tone. It didn't have some coherent storyline. It was just scene, scene, scene. Let's get a big storm scene. Like, and the villain was so, like, blah. And, like, you don't care, and all these characters, you just don't really care for. Again, the relationship between Meg and Chris Pine, that stuff was great. Like, I mean, that was perfect chemistry right there. Perfect relationship. You actually felt for her. She was great. Chris Pine was great. The wife was great. Reese Witherspoon did the best she could. Everyone else, they didn't either get enough, or they just didn't do great. Freaking Charles Wallace character, oh my god, that's the worst character in the movie all year. I can already feel it. He was just, I just hated his character. Overall, A Wrinkle in Time was a mess of a movie. Very, just not good. And a lot of people in my theater, you could feel in the theater that this movie just wasn't good. It just didn't have that magic, it didn't have that intrigue, it didn't have anything. It was boring, it was dumb in some scenes. I just didn't like it, guys. I really didn't. I'm going to give A Wrinkle in Time a D+. Again, the relationship between Chris Pine and Meg, that stuff was great. Like, that was really good stuff right there. Everything else was just... And it's shocking, because I thought this movie was going to be good. I really did. I was looking forward to it. I was looking to see what was going to happen. Just huge disappointment, guys. I'm shocked that I'm actually saying that, but that's the truth. Hopefully Ava DuVernay can do maybe a superhero movie, you know, because she needs one. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time.